Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If you thought South African politics couldn't get more dramatic, think again. Because today, we are unpacking the rise and fall of Rubben Mohlaloga, a man who once stood at the doorstep of power, only to slam it shut on himself with a 20-year prison sentence. Yes, you heard that correctly. 20 years. That's not a short holiday, that's 2 full decades of reflection, steel beds, and prison food. Now, for those who might not recognize the name immediately, let's rewind. Rubben Mohlaloga was no small fry. He was the deputy president of the ANC Youth League back when that structure was still producing political heavyweights. The Youth League has always been a kind of springboard for ambitious young leaders, think of Julius Malema or Michael Mbalula. Mohlaloga seemed like he was on the same path. People saw him as clever, charismatic, and destined for bigger things. But, as South Africa has learned many times, ambition and temptation are dangerous bedfellows. During his time as acting chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture in Parliament, Mohlaloga found himself in the middle of a massive land bank scam. Funds that were supposed to help emerging black farmers, the very backbone of land reform, somehow found their way into luxury vehicles, property, and personal goodies. Instead of tractors, farmers ended up with the dust. Instead of opportunity, they got betrayal. The Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court made it clear Mohlaloga didn't just trip and fall into corruption. He was a central figure in diverting millions that were meant to transform lives. And once you start playing with millions in South Africa, the consequences are usually heavy. He was convicted of fraud and money laundering back in 2018, and from then on he pulled every legal trick in the book to avoid facing the music. High Court appeal. Failed. Constitutional Court. Rejected. And now, the Supreme Court of Appeal has slammed the final door in his face. No more excuses. No more delays. The man must report to prison and serve the full 20 years. The National Prosecuting Authority welcomed the outcome with a smile. NPA spokesperson Thunzi Moga said this was proof that no one is above the law. And you know what? He's right. Because let's be honest, too often in South Africa, politically connected people have managed to dodge accountability. But in this case, the system held firm. So, let's talk about the irony here. Mohlaloga wasn't just a politician. He also served as the chairperson of ICOSA, the regulator for South Africa's communications sector. This is the body that makes sure cell phone companies, broadcasters, and the internet behave. He had a real position of influence. Yet, when his conviction was confirmed, he had to leave that post. Imagine going from controlling airwaves to staring at prison bars. That's one heck of a downgrade. Politically, his fall is a major embarrassment for the ANC. Not that the party isn't used to embarrassment, corruption scandals have been its constant companion. From Candler to Bosesa, the ANC's brand has been battered. And just when you think the party might be turning a corner, another skeleton crawls out of the closet. Analysts say this ruling adds yet another layer of distrust between citizens and the ANC, especially when South Africans are already disillusioned with service delivery, unemployment, and inequality. And let's not forget the human cost. The funds Mohlaloga helped misdirect weren't monopoly money. They were meant for black farmers who had been waiting for opportunities to break into commercial agriculture. We're talking about people who wanted to work the land, provide food for the nation, and create jobs. Instead, those dreams were hijacked. Luxury cars don't plow fields, and mansions don't grow maize. This is why corruption in South Africa feels so personal, it steals from the very people who need support the most. Now, here's where it gets both tragic and ironic. Mohlaloga was seen as a possible future cabinet minister at one stage. He had the right connections, the right platform, and the right trajectory. But his greed cut his career short. It's a lesson in how power without integrity is a ticking time bomb. And it's also a reminder that the ANC Youth League, once the training ground of giants, has increasingly become the breeding ground of scandals. For Mohlaloga himself, the options are finished. There are no more legal appeals. The SCA ruling is final. He must serve every single day of that 20-year term, unless he gets parole down the line. But even with parole, he will never escape the stain on his name. From now on, whenever people hear Rubben Mohlaloga, they won't think of political leadership. They'll think of corruption, betrayal, and prison. And let's not lie, South Africans have a way of finding humor in tragedy. You can already imagine the WhatsApp memes circulating, from ANC Youth League to Prison Ward League, or the Land Bank funds finally landed him in jail. Our country never misses the chance to turn scandal into satire. But beyond the jokes, the message here is serious. Corruption has destroyed trust in politics, and unless high-profile figures are held accountable, the cycle will never end. Mohlaloga's sentence should serve as a warning to others who still think they can steal from the public purse and walk away untouched. The ANC hasn't issued an official statement yet, probably because it's awkward. On the one hand, they want to say justice was served. On the other, it reminds the public yet again that many of their leaders, past and present, have been knee-deep in corruption. It's a no-win situation for the party, especially as opposition parties are already sharpening their knives, using this case as more evidence of the ANC's moral decline. So what's the takeaway here? For me, it's that corruption doesn't just destroy careers, it destroys lives. Communities that were supposed to benefit from land reform lost out because someone at the top thought luxury cars were more important than food security. And as long as that mentality exists, South Africa will keep fighting the same battles. But maybe, just maybe, this ruling shows that the wheels of justice do turn, slowly, painfully, but eventually. And maybe future politicians will think twice before dipping their hands into the cookie jar. Because sometimes, the cookies bite back. So, what do you think? Was justice served? Or should the sentence have been even harsher given the impact on communities? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss our deep dives into South African politics and scandals. Thank you for watching, and as always, see you next time.